Welcome back to London Beautiful Live, and we're at the High School Musical on stage press day in Southwark. What is your favourite number, firstly, from what you've seen today? And I know you've been seeing a lot of it.
We have seen a lot. I'll be honest, I have to say we're all in this together. It's just every time the cast run it, I cannot not smile, and I just feel joy inside. So yeah, it gives me goosebumps. I just love it, and it's just like the perfect ending to a show.
I would say what I've been looking for, which is like Ryan and Sharpay's audition for the musical. It's like so over the top and epic and fun. It's just like exactly who Ryan and Sharpay are, and it's just so much fun.
So I heard a bit of the backstory of how this all came together. But how does one get in touch with Disney to be like, I want to bring back one of your cult classics for the 20th anniversary?
Well, the Disney theatrical productions are looked after by MTI, Music Theatre International, so they look after a lot of different shows and different brands, and we've got a wonderful relationship with them. So we sort of started the conversation with them first, and then they did the intro. So no, you can't just go straight to Disney.
No, you can't. But we are the only second ever non-Disney production to happen in the UK, which is pretty incredible. So yeah, we feel the weight of that, but we feel very privileged and honoured.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I guess talking about the weight of things as well, because if you're doing it solo, directing it solo, having both of you together, does it help a lot to push the production faster?
For sure.
I think so. Yeah, we literally can split in two and get two things done at the same time.
Like, you go and tell them that, and I'll tell them this. But
and that does help, and I think as well, it is such the weight of directing a piece of theatre on this scale. It's a lot, but we're going through it together as well, and we're constantly walking to work and chatting through ideas, and so there's a real shared joy and creativity in that.
We're very used to, each other. We've been married 9 years now. We've been together 13, so we know each other very well. And creatively, when we're in a room together, that's where we just feel really happy.
Yeah.
I also heard, obviously, the dancing, when it comes to the choreography, it had to be different. How come? Because obviously the songs aren't different.
Yeah, I know, that's interesting. I mean, I guess there's a whole, that the original choreography lives with that original movie. And also, although that was so iconic at the time, we wanted to bring our own stamp to it. And one of the things that I feel like was really going to make our production feel original was the choreography. And we have been such big fans of Aaron for years. We've seen a lot of his work, and we've always said, one day we will work with Aaron. It just has to be the right project. And then when this project came along, it was a no-brainer. We just knew that Aaron would bring something fresh and vibrant and young to the choreography, which I think he is doing in abundance.
Yeah, it's very, very exciting to sort of be creating our own sort of iconic moves that we hope, generations to come will dance in their living rooms and be part of it. But yeah, it feels very special.
So 20 years on, and we're back at High School Musical again. How does it feel to be back here again, doing all of this?
Oh, it feels so wonderful to be. It's like going home, but seeing the house through different eyes, if that makes sense, as Ms. Darvis. And I'm so grateful I got to champion the message of being unapologetically myself through Martha. And yet Darvis kind of does the same from and mentors the next generation of Wildcats to do that. So it's a pretty cool, nostalgic feeling, even for me.
When you go back to those years, 20 years ago, what is one thing that really stood out to you? And it could be maybe a moment in the canteen, as in when you're off set, or maybe on set.
I really, really enjoyed filming High School Musical 2. It was pretty special because we all were kind of out of our normal environments together. The kids that were from LA were in St. George, Utah. All of us from Salt Lake were in St. George, Utah. And we really felt like we were away at summer camp together. And I feel like it read through the camera, that we were all buddies away. And even after some of the long days of filming, we'd be like, let's go to Denny's together, or let's go to a restaurant together and hang out. So it just made that really special in my mind.
Obviously, this is a theatre production, but is there any similarities from the film for you?
So there are a lot of similarities, right? Definitely that family environment of cast, which is so important. I feel like the message of High School Musical really can't read, and the audience will not feel it if you don't all embrace that in rehearsals as well. That like we love each other, we trust each other, it's a safe place. So that is like one of the similarities that I'm so happy is here. But then there's also all these great different things that people will get by seeing a stage show versus the films. We have some like an extra character that helps move things along. We have extra songs. One of them was actually cut out of the film, and so if you come to the theater, you'll get to experience that.
Well, my friend who you did meet a minute ago is coming. She's already bought tickets.
Yes! Yay!
Also, when it comes to if you could choose one cast member to come watch you on gala night, who would you choose?
Sorry, say it one more time.
What if you could choose one cast member from the film to come watch you on gala night? Who would you choose?
Oh goodness.
For you, actually, you can choose as many cast members as you want.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a very funny pairing, but Coach Bolton and I are actually very great friends, Bart Johnson, and so he actually will be coming in to see some things here soon. And then Monique Coleman, who plays Taylor McKessie, is a good friend of mine. I mean, I would love as many as possible. There's even, Kenny Ortega might stop by. I don't know. They're trying, so we'll see what happens.
And also, when it comes to your favourite song from High School Musical, what is your favourite High School Musical song?
Okay, are we talking High School Musical 1 or like
the whole thing?
Okay, so I have like a special love with Can I Have This Dance? I listen to it now as I'm older and I'm like, wait a minute, this is so beautiful. So it would be between that, and people even use it as their wedding song, because I was like, it is so good. So Can I Have This Dance? But guess what else? I really love Music and Me. If you go back now as an adult and listen to Music and Me, cutest lyrics.
What drew you to want to be a part of High School Musical, the theatre production?
Oh, I just felt like it made sense, the role of Coach Bolton. And, it's 20 years since the film. McFly's been going for over 20 years. I felt like there's a nice crossover with the fan base. And my daughter loves High School Musical, so...
I did hear she was really excited when you were becoming a part of it.
So excited, honestly.
Obviously, you have done American stuff as well, like Just My Luck. Yeah. What was it like working on that quickly?
Yeah, that was just crazy. It's like over 20 years ago. But yeah, it was, I think, I feel just so lucky to have just done all these crazy things that you can look back on and talk about with your bandmates or families and friends. And so, yeah, this is another one of those things.
When it comes to having the American accent, does it come quite naturally for you? Or do you have a dialect coach?
Yeah, I had a session with a dialect coach. I think I've always enjoyed doing like impressions and like accents and stuff, and thankfully it seemed to come relatively naturally. I did a read through with the director on day one, and he was like, "Oh, you got it." I was like, "Oh, phew, okay, that's good." Yeah, I've always been a bit like that. I was in Scotland this week, and I was enjoying trying to do the Scottish accent.
When it also comes to this show as well, when it came to the films, I heard the dance routines, they can't be the same as the films. Do you reckon that is challenging for everyone a part of the production to learn completely new routines, or do you reckon it's just been because it's quite fresh for people as a production itself?
Yeah, I think it adds a fresh element to it. I mean, you could suggest maybe it's a shame that some of the kind of iconic dance moves won't be involved, but we've got an amazing choreographer in Aaron Renfree, and as you would have seen today, there's some really cool like choreography, and to me it doesn't matter. Like, it's an opportunity to learn new stuff, to interpret things in a different way, and the cast are incredible. Like, they learn it so quickly.
Am I right? This is your first stage production?
I've done. I did a dancing show on at the Garrick called Rip It Up in like 2018. This is the first time I've done. I mean, there was a bit of acting in that, but very limited. I was mainly just dancing. So this is the first time I've just done acting. Yeah.
This could be a bit of a rogue question, but what's more challenging, being on a tour for arena tours, stadium tours, or doing theatre?
Do you know what? I think theatre, because you're doing 8 shows a week. It's so professional. When you're in a band, you're in charge. You're not in charge. It's a massive team of people you have to listen to as well. But You can you stay in nice hotels. It's an absolute pleasure to be in a band. I literally cannot complain about touring. But being on stage in the West End, like I did in 2018, I think it was, it's really hard. 8 shows a week is no joke. You have to love it. You've got to love it. And I think, it's like I said, you're there to do a job. People like being in a band, but you can kind of play with it a bit, being in a band. But you've got to do the show as you're set to do it, and it's relentless. I have an unbelievable amount of respect for West End, the theatre performers. My daughter was in Les Mis recently, so I watched that quite a few times. And watching these performers in Les Mis, it's a long show, it's a very emotional show, and to go out there and they just pour their hearts out every single night, sometimes twice a day. Honestly, it's incredible.
What was it like watching your daughter in Les Mis, which is incredible?
Oh, it's mad. Yeah, very nerve-wracking. It never got easier.
How does one stay healthy if you're with intense days like that? And especially also when in a band as well, going on tour around the world. How do you stay healthy for people that want to get into this industry?
Well, it's really boring, but the most important thing is just, for me, and I'd say for most people, is sleep. Make sure you get your sleep. Being a performer is a privilege. It's a lot of fun, and you get this kind of natural high, and it can be quite hard to come down. And that constant up and down can be quite challenging for some people. So I think you've got to be very wary of that coming into it. And yeah, for me now, in my experienced years of doing this, is just making sure I'm not too tired.
And if you could put one McFly song into this High School Musical production, what song would it be?
Ooh, that's a good.
And vice versa with High School Musical onto a McFly album.
I think I put an early McFly song in there. I think probably something like That Girl, I think. So it's kind of like, I can imagine, Troy singing that with all his jock mates around him, singing all the backing vocals and stuff. And I think maybe All in This Together is my favourite song, so we can do a cover of that.
How did you get involved in this project?
Well, Joe and Will, the producers and the directors, they have kind of seen my work over the years, and they've always kind of said, we'd love to work with you on something. And I think with my kind of style and my experience on other work I've done, I think this just kind of was the right fit. And this is our first time working together, and it's just been an absolute ball. So that's how I kind of got involved.
Well, I was going to say, do you prefer doing the choreography or performing?
I mean, it is fun, being a creative of something and then kind of watching, like today, seeing basically I sort of properly performed back for the first time. So, it's kind of they've done me proud today. And I do miss performing. I do. I think I still get to perform in whilst I'm teaching, I guess. But I know what you mean, with the live audience and stuff. And to be fair, I did watch today going I bet this is really fun to do.
Can it be quite complicated when there's a big cast and people, maybe one row's doing a separate move? How do you do that? Do you do it solo, or do you have people that help you?
So I've got an associate, Joe, who's one of my best friends as well. So we've worked very closely together. So we kind of it's almost like we have to sync brains. But I think also we kind of start with a foundation, and then you kind of teach it to everyone, and then you can start playing with the people that are in different rows, or you can add a canon, you can make people do things on different counts. So I think that's where it makes it more complicated, and then it's when you get the full picture at the end.
So when it came to research with High School Musical, I actually did watch half of it yesterday, last night before I went to bed. But how many times did you watch it, and did you have to learn the routine, or have you added in new routine?
So I can't actually use any of the choreography from the film. So everything is basically fresh choreography, which has been a bit of a challenge because, it's a lot of people know the iconic choreography from the film. So it's obviously you want to bring that to the show with it being different choreography, but also having that same nostalgic feeling, that same what feels kind of iconic. And I've definitely, so funny enough, I actually danced at the premieres back when they first came out. It's me pretending to be Troy in front of Zac Efron, which is I was I can't believe what I'm doing. But I felt like I've, had that kind of bit of history with the film. So it's amazing to kind of come back and I'll be a creative on the musical version. So I don't know how many times I've watched the film. I've definitely watched it a few times to kind of get my head. say get my head in the game. But yeah, to kind of like, you know, really feel what it like, just for some inspiration. And you know, just to kind of, what's amazing about the show is it's like, it's that American high school cheer sportsman, like it just gives you so much energy, and it's like all the numbers are so full out and have so much energy to them. Yeah.
If you could choose one cast member, apart from KayCee, from the films to come and watch the gala night, who would you choose? And it has to only be one.
Only one. Oh, we've got to have Troy. We've got to have Zach. We've got to have Zach. Come on.
Also, I've loved watching your career from ESCOM Juniors to ESCOM 8, I guess, to then obviously you've performed with people like Taylor Swift. What's been a highlight in your career, would you say?
Ooh. Do you know what? It probably was like, I felt like Taylor Swift was quite a big moment for me. I think being like a UK-based performer, to work with an American artist of such, no, she was pretty big. And I think to have that opportunity was pretty cool. And also just to work with an American team, like she's very professional. And it was just one of those jobs that I was like kind of a pinch me moment, which is super fun. So I think that's probably, I mean, also, but like being in the band was pretty cool, and I feel like I wish I was a little bit older to kind of appreciate it, because I was so young at the time that you just kind of like, those years flew by, and I look back going, oh my God, did I actually do that? So I think like that is also like a bit of a proud moment as well.
If you could have either a reunion for ESCOM Juniors or the Saturdays, who would you choose? Or both? You can do both.
It's crazy. It's as well, like choreographing those guys as well. It's like, what do I... Because I had such good times with those, the girls. But I think, you know, I actually probably get once a day now. It's starting to like, especially with all these like nostalgic, like on TikTok, like there's always a comment being like, when you get that together. One step closer is for some reason doing the rounds again, because
coming up to 20 years.
We're actually 25 next year, and I feel like, I don't know. I feel like next year's something. I don't know. Even if we just go for dinner, just be like, woo. But no, I think it would be fun to reunite. I not necessarily want to do it to like get back into the pop world. Yeah. Also, because I think it's like to be an artist now in the music industry must be crazy. I think we probably did it at the best time. But you know, I think it would be fun just to do like a one-off something. Maybe Mighty Hoopla or something. And
also, how intense was it doing like X Factor, like weekly and all that?
God, those X Factor days. I think that's also where I've kind of like.
The X Factor was an intense show.
I remember like learning choreography at 7:45, new choreography to do like on that show, because Simon's like, I don't like that, you need to change it. And we're like, literally like costumed up, ready to do something that I've never rehearsed before on stage. And you just knowing that there's like millions of people watching. But I think having that like, you definitely have to have a certain brain to be like, learn all those routines, knowing that it's live TV and also as a dancer as well, you knew that like all the other dancers used to watch that show being like, I want to be on this show, like, and you knew that it was like the job to get. So you felt like you've got to be good because you've got all the dancers wishing you were in our shoes. So, but I think that's definitely it's definitely given me my training, because I think everyone's like, you're so chill. Like I was like, try doing X Factor in 2010. Like, it was hell, but it was also like some of the best times.
Well, we worked on it as well.
Right? Oh, you know exactly what I'm talking about then.
When it came to casting, how did this process work with you guys?
I got an email saying, would I be interested in being in High School Musical? And I thought, I would love to be in High School Musical. And then I auditioned, and then
got the
here
job.
we are.
It was pretty easy.
I was thrilled. I love High School Musical. It's very much a huge part of my childhood. So I remember when the boys announced the show, and I thought, oh my God, I'll definitely go and see that. And then flash forward. And then I'm here. So.
Yeah, same with me. I remember seeing the announcement before any kind of conversation about an audition happening and being like, oh my God, like, I definitely want to see that. That's going to be amazing. And then I think Luke and I were quite fortunate that we were working together at the time of auditioning. So we were on Titanic together. And so it was actually really nice that we kind of shared that little process of auditioning together while seeing each other every night on stage as well.
I came to warm up and Caitlin was like dolled up, big hair. And I was like,
she was like, where have you been?
She was like, yeah.
Yeah.
It was so Sharpay coded in warm up.
When it comes to like research as well, do you guys do research into it, or do you want to make it your own kind of stuff?
Of the two.
Yeah.
Because I think you have to stay true to the characters and the blueprint of what's been set before. And I think like Ashley Tisdale and Lucas Grabeel are epic. And the characters are so iconic for a reason that I think you have to stay true to that. But then I also think, as we've said before, there's like we have a little bit more kind of leeway, I think, with the musical, because we've got a few extra scenes that aren't in in the film that give us kind of a little bit more backstory into the characters.
Yeah, there's definitely moments in the musical that we've never seen Sharpay and Ryan in before, so it's kind of fun to play with that and say, like, what do we think that they would say there and do there, and how would they be acting, and so that's been really fun. Yeah.
Obviously, you're 10 days into rehearsals, but what is the most challenging part so far into the 10-day rehearsal?
I think, as much as we love him, Aaron's choreography is full out. It is no joke, and so it's really, we want to do it justice, and we want to like bring that energy, that like Disney joy, like that kind of energy, and so it requires just like a little bit more practice and just, you know, really drilling it into
and
our
stamina.
bodies.
Because we practice the choreo and you're like, I've got the choreo, and then you're like, oh, but now I need to sing.
Singing as well as dancing at the same time.
If you guys could choose one cast member and only one from the films to come watch the gala night of you guys performing, who would it be?
I do just want all of them to come.
Me too. I think I would choose Ashley Tisdale.
Yeah, would love that. Would love Corbin Bleu. He's a musical theatre guy. You know, I think that'd be really cool. Any of them, I think it would be amazing to have them come and like be a little part of it with us. That would be so cool.
And I've seen Monique, who played Taylor originally, has commented on quite a few of the videos and things, which I think is
and
so
obviously
lovely.
we have KayCee, so she's our little link in, and they're like they have their own friendships and stuff. So yeah, it's been really lovely to have like a OG Wildcat.
Yeah, what is it like working with KayCee? And also Harry as well, McFly legend.
KayCee is an absolute dream, and she is so willing to get right in with all of us.
She's a team player.
Yeah, team player
for sure.
Through
and through.
Just such a lovely like experience getting to do this with her and getting little insights of what it was like filming it, and you know, that was like 5 years of her life, so it's so cool to have that brought into what we're bringing to audiences. Yeah.
I think that's genius casting.
Oh yeah, for sure. And she's an incredible Miss Dark. It's honestly like perfect casting.
What's it like working with Harry as well?
So lovely.
Oh, he's so sweet. He's such a good guy.
And my mum is like, how's Harry? And I'm like, Mum, he's lovely. But like, yeah.
I was going to say, Mick Fly was like very iconic as well. So we're so lucky to have both of them.